Here we are at day 4 of the quarantine in France, and things are starting to change a lot for a lot of us, I think. And it's been kind of a really weird week for, I think, for a lot of people, depending on where you are. And So the topic that I think I wanted to talk about today, and the type of meditation we'll do this evening, is all about change and impermanence, and getting some level of sort of calm and composure within that. Because people are having weddings canceled and jobs are sort of up in the air, and just our day-to-day routines are being completely disrupted, and just simple things we're taking for granted are changing, and like expectations that we had are changing, and that can be pretty weird and challenging, especially when we didn't choose it. We didn't decide to do this. None of us are in control of this. But sometimes what I've noticed is that what makes change really difficult is our resistance to it. It's just that we had a plan in mind and we had some expectation, and then that gets disrupted. And just that fact by itself can be pretty unpleasant. We can sort of feel a bit anxious and left a bit rudderless and uncertain, and we don't know which way things are going to go. Even if the change itself isn't, if you look really just at the bare facts of what's going on in your life in the moment, isn't necessarily that bad. Just the fact that it's not what you expected can create a lot of sort of shock and a bit of stress. So, well, we can practice to be calm in that, right? And cultivate this sense of equanimity, which is this sense of acceptance for change that we can't control. Because, there's no point in feeling upset about, not being able to control the weather, for example, right? It's just outside of our control, and it's the same thing here. So if we can just sort of let go of what we thought was going to happen, let go of our expectations, and sort of adjust to things day by day, and let them come and accept them, then we can sort of remove a big part of what makes this difficult, which is that holding on to wanting things to have been the way you expected. If we can just let go of that, then there's still going to be lots of challenges as we go into the next weeks and months, but at least that's one of them that we're in control of. We can control how much we resist what's going on. Um, and so in meditation, you'll often hear about this notion of impermanence, and it's this idea that we all sort of know of, right? This the only constant is change, um, and this is true at many different levels. We can look down at the momentary experience, like in at our breath and stuff, which is some of what we'll do in the meditation. But you can even look at your life, as we are born and we grow and we change and we eventually die, or even further out on like evolutionary timescales, is humanity is also in flux and constantly changing, and there's no sort of resting point. Everything is constantly in flux. And as soon as I say that, and as soon as I say the word die, it can kind of be a bit unsettling, and you can kind of it can be a bit difficult. But there's a sense of freedom as well that can also be found in knowing that. And I mean, for example, in this Corona situation, just knowing that it's not going to last forever, you know, we can take refuge in that fact and know that, okay, we don't know exactly how long it's going to last, but it will pass, um, which can bring a sense of sort of relief that, it's not forever. And that's also true for, the positive things in our life, so we should, we can practice enjoying them as they come and being okay and calm as they pass, knowing that that's just the nature of things. So, yeah, I just, one final thing before we move into the meditation. That idea of kind of getting sort of peace in the fact that things are always in flux can really help alleviate this tendency we have of sort of craving and attaching to positive experiences and wanting them to hold on and last, which itself is a negative experience. This feeling of wanting. So we talk about craving, and then also to alleviate sort of aversion, this idea of pushing away negative experiences. Once we know that they'll pass, we can sort of get some space around them. So you get these two sides, craving and aversion, which I'll probably talk about at some other evening. So with that preamble out of the way, we'll shift into the practice. So like I said, we're going to be practicing um, around change and the idea of change, and in particular, getting a sense of sort of calm and composure and equipoise around the fact that everything is constantly in flux. And the reason we do this is the reason this is beneficial is it can kind of help us, relax our expectations, relax wanting things to be a certain way, and especially today is going to be, I think, a good thing in the weeks to come. All right, so we'll just shift into the practice. So if you're not already comfortable, please make yourself comfortable. Do any adjustments you need to do. Keeping your back straight and just in any position that allows you to relax. Once you're ready, if you haven't already, gently close your eyes. Before we begin, just remind yourself to bring a gentle smile to your face or into your mind, or a smile in your eyes. As we begin to slow down here, scan through your body and relax any obvious areas of holding or contraction or tension. See if there's any way that you can make yourself more comfortable. As we always do, just take a moment to set a bit of an intention to put everything else aside for the next 10-15 minutes and to really commit to the practice and get the most out of this. You might even take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time out of your day to practice, knowing all the benefits that can arise from meditation practice, not only for yourself, but for the people around you as well. We'll start off by taking a few deep, deliberate breaths. Taking a deep inhale, nice and slow. Pausing at the top of the inhale and relaxing as you exhale. Take a couple more deep breaths like this. And notice your body start to relax and your mind start to slow down. Now bring your attention to the sounds in the room around you. Become aware of your hearing and just allow them to come to you. You might see how many sounds you can be aware of. You might hear some traffic outside, or the hum of a computer, or the sound of your own voice. Of your own breath. Don't judge or label anything, just relax into the sounds, allowing them to come and go. Expand your attention wide as you soften your mind, noticing every little sound around you. Notice how each sound comes and goes. See if you can pay attention to the moment that a sound disappears. See if you can watch the sounds around you as they come and they go. And if there's a constant sound near you, notice how even that is a changing vibration comprised of lots of smaller sounds, something that's in flux. Now bring your attention into your body. Feel the breath in the entire body. And notice all the ways in which the breath moves your body. You might feel the shoulders as they rise and they fall. The chest expanding and contracting. The belly expanding. Maybe a slight tightness across the back on the inhale. Notice how, as you breathe, nothing stays still. In fact, the breath as an object only exists as change. If you were to stop, there'd be no breath at all. Now let's narrow our attention slightly to the breath of the belly. Notice how it fills on the inhale and drops and relaxes on the exhale. And at the top of the next inhale, focus and see if you can notice the point where the inhale ends and the exhale begins. And at the end of the exhale, notice the point where the inhale begins. Now let's focus down even finer and pay attention to the sensations of the inhale. Notice that what we call the inhale is a sea or a soup of many tiny sensations. The skin of the belly moving, perhaps some tingling, feeling of expansion. Just become really curious about what you're calling the inhale. You might notice that there's many tiny moments of perception that taken together form the inhale. We can expand back out to the breath in the whole body. And to the sensations in your entire body. Feeling your feet on the ground, the pressure of the chair beneath you, the aliveness in your hands. Focus on that aliveness within you. The breath moving in and out, your heart beating, any vibrations or tingling. Notice how even your experience of your body is in flux. What you're aware of, the sensations themselves, coming, going, changing. Notice how you're okay in all this as you observe the change. And I'd like you to reflect for a moment on something in your life that is challenging for you right now. Something that's causing some discomfort. And just notice any thoughts and sensations that come up. Don't try to resolve the challenge right now. Just hold it in your mind. Feel any discomfort or resistance or fear, any images that come to mind. See if you can simply be with those feelings without pushing them away. Can you find some sense of calm or composure? Now, take a moment to appreciate the fact that this challenge in your life will come and go. That it too, one day, will pass. So the connection just dropped there. I'm not sure why. But carrying on from where we left off, as you hold this challenge in your life, in your mind, just notice that this also is impermanent and one day shall pass. You might reflect on all the other challenges in your life that have come and gone, and notice that this will also be true for what's happening right now. And as you feel that and realize that, notice how it feels in your body. Can you feel a sense of allowing or accepting, a decontraction, knowing that challenging times will pass? Now bring your attention back to your body. Relax. You might smile a little bit. You might feel that aliveness in the body once again. And this time you might sense some appreciation or gratitude for simply being here. And gently bring your attention back to the sounds in the room around you. Notice how your entire experience is in constant flux. And that's just the way it is. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes.